Hey there, Hofstra fans. Welcome to another episode of Blue and Gold Weekly. I'm your host, Kevin Dexter. We are closing in on November, and that means the race for the CAA championship and all of the fall sports is heating up. We begin this week with the red-hot Hofstra volleyball team, who continued their hot play at home this weekend. The Pride swept Stony Brook in the Battle of Long Island, winning both matches in 3 sets. Isadora Stagely led the way on Friday with 16 kills and 12 digs. On Saturday, Stagely chipped in 14 kills, while Constanza Perez-Sain added 10. And the star of the entire weekend for the Pride was freshman setter Nina Gioshvili-Rava, who won her 4th CAA Rookie of the Week award of the season by totaling 76 assists across the 2 matches. Hofstra will take their 8-2 CAA record down south this weekend as they visit North Carolina A&T. The Hofstra field hockey team is battling for a spot in the CAA championship. They dropped a tough conference game on the road on Friday, losing at Northeastern 2-1, but they bounced back in a big way in non-conference play on Sunday afternoon here at home, dominating New Haven. It was an offensive outburst for the Pride, led by who else but Teresa Karoff. A hat trick for Karoff, giving her 12 goals on the season. Jamie Lewis chipped in 2 goals as well as the Pride rolled by New Haven 7-0 to pick up their 7th win of the season. Next up for the Pride, a big CAA game at William & Mary on Friday. It was a tough weekend on the road for the Hofstra women's soccer team. They dropped a pair of games, losing at UNCW 2-0 and at Charleston 1-0. Next up for the Pride, a big meeting at Stony Brook on Sunday as the Pride try to qualify for the upcoming CAA championship. The Hofstra men's golf team earned a 2nd place finish at the Adelphi Panther Invitational, with freshman Hank Kancher leading the Pride with a 2nd place individual finish following 2 rounds of 76. And the Hofstra women's golf team defeated Wagner 4-3 in a match play event at Trump National Golf Club in Colts Neck, New Jersey on Wednesday. The Pride clinched the win over the Seahawks as Natalie Moody won her match against Lily McNally 1-0. Well, the newest head coach here on campus is the new leader of the Hofstra women's tennis program. Fred Lemongo was named the new head coach last week. I had a chance to chat with Fred for the first time. The new head coach of the women's tennis program here at Hofstra is Fred Lemongo. Fred, first of all, welcome to Hofstra. Thanks for a couple of minutes. Why Hofstra? What attracted you to this job?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. I think I used to live on Long Island for a little bit of time, and I did hear about Hofstra through one of the players. Actually, it's funny. She's an alum now, and but she only had good things to say about it. And I've kind of seen posts about it here and there. So, when the job came open, I just thought this might be a good fit. It was very similar to where I was at previously at Campbell. And, one thing led to another, and here I am.
You mentioned Campbell. You're originally from Cameroon, and now you've been in the States for a while, a few different stops. What has this whole journey been like for you to get to this point?
Man, this is just life-changing. Cameroon is very different from the States in so many regards. First of all, it's a third world country, so tennis is not a sport that people really have access to. And I was very fortunate to be able to play tennis and have it in my life. So the journey has been great. Like it's opened so many doors for me. Being able to play tennis. I wanted to play at the highest level and still continue my education. And there's really no other place in the world than the U.S. where you can do it the way it is set up. Life changing. You meet so many people along the way, so many great people, and you make these connections. And having been able to do what I did at my previous school as well has been that's one of my proudest achievement, and just making myself known and growing, discovering what I'm capable of. I don't think if I'd stayed back home, I would have been the person I am today. I just opened the door to so many possibilities, and I'm still discovering many things, and the journey there's still a long journey ahead. So I'm quite excited about it.
As you mentioned, you have worked in college tennis previously. So what did you learn from your prior stops?
Definitely that, one of the biggest thing about, college tennis is the culture and like I said, I was very lucky being where I was. We had a great coach, we had a great program, and the bonds I made with my teammates really is what kind of made me want to stay in college tennis. I studied math and computers, totally unrelated, but once I was done with my college career, I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm completely finished. I think I still have a lot to give in tennis, and kind of want to see where it takes me.
You mentioned, so you're a great player at North Carolina Wesleyan University during your playing days. What memories do you have from your playing days still? What do you still hang on to?
Like so many, Looking back, all I can see is, the bonds I had with my teammates. We literally did everything together. I mean, my teammates were like my brothers. But one thing I can say, it was kind of like a defining moment for me, was my very first conference tournament. And we were 3-all in match score, and I was the decider. So I clinched conference for the school for, I think, the first time in history. And, everything kind of escalated from there. Our name became known, and everybody knew Wesleyan was a dangerous team, and, we started walking around with more pride.
What lessons do you pass on from your playing days when you're coaching now?
Honestly, tennis is an individual sport, and the personalities are very strong. The main thing is to make an effort, right? There's definitely a shift going from playing tennis individually for yourself into playing for a team, and you have to try to adjust to that. A lot of kids come and they're like, oh, I'm just going to do my own thing, I just need to win my match. If you approach it that way, you're probably going to fail. You need to realize you're not playing only for yourself, you're representing many things, and once you embrace all that, it actually gives you more to play for. You want to be able to look outside of yourself a little bit.
Well, you mentioned you had lived on Long Island previously. So what are you excited about being back here, being in New York, and getting to experience the New York and Long Island culture?
Just the people, man, just the people. During my time here, I met so many great people. I got to form really close relationships with some families I was teaching. Young kids, they're probably, teenagers now, and hoping maybe one day they'll play for this team, who knows. Yeah. But yeah, just reconnecting with these people, discovering, again, Long Island, close to the city now. I've never had the opportunity to live this close to New York City, so see what it has to offer and, kind of see where we can take this thing here.
And there's people from everywhere in New York. So
Absolutely.
Can you get any taste of Cameroon in New York?
Definitely,
spots? Yeah?
Definitely. So everywhere I've lived, everywhere I go, I always try to find maybe a Cameroonian restaurant nearby, just to kind of have, a spot whenever I crave some of Cameroonian food. But I haven't had the chance to do that in this area yet, so I'm definitely going to go out, explore. There's so many, I'm probably going to have to try out a few and decide which one I like best, but that's exciting for sure.
What can we expect from a Fred Lemongo coached team?
Consistency, definitely consistency. I've already told the girls this is not about, it's not so much just the tennis. Every time we go out there, we're practicing our habits, and I want us to come out every day and, give 100% of whatever it is we have. We shouldn't make any excuses, and if we're consistent enough and we kind of focus on these micro habits, we can go very far. That's really my motto when it comes to tennis. There's nothing, it's like, it's a funny analogy, it's like brushing your teeth, You're not gonna brush your teeth one day for 1 hour, you're like, okay, I don't need to touch it again for the rest of the week. It's like 2 minutes every day, and I want them to have that approach and just kind of come and do their best every day. And if, like I say, if we can hold it together like that, we're gonna be dangerous. We're gonna be a team to watch.
I like that one. That's the first time I've heard that. Last one for you. What is your key to a successful season in this program, being successful?
Just the same as it was for me at Wesleyan and other places I've coached is culture. You want to have a nice, healthy culture where everybody kind of feels at home, even if you have foreign students. That's what was created for me, and when I look back, that's what I remember instantly. Right, we had amazing team culture, good cohesion, and we're excited about everything. We just like being around each other. And as soon as some issues would arise that would kind of, break down the team culture, we felt it as well. So I definitely want to maintain an environment where everything, is smooth. And once you have that, the tennis part comes easily. I believe that 100%. So that's definitely going to be my main focus, and just keep the girls in shape and see what we can do.
All right, well, Fred, thanks for a couple of minutes. Good
Absolutely.
luck. We look forward to seeing your team play.
Thank you. Likewise.
And thanks again to Fred Lemongo for a couple of minutes. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Blue and Gold Weekly. We'll be back next week with a brand new edition. Thanks so much for watching, and go Pride.